My AKA Powers, TGIF, are you ready to discuss something we never talked about on this channel before? Two things, Kevin Smith, Masters of the Universe, MOTU, let's go! What is up, my AKA Powers? Take 3. I've been trying to do this video coherently because there's just a lot to say. But Peter A. DeLuca here, aka Pad69, say it with me. Known through Philadelphia, Europe, and the multiverse as the eclectic one. Welcome back to the channel. Two subjects we never really ever discussed. Kevin Smith, Masters of the Universe. What'd you think of Revelations? The Netflix cartoon. He became internet famous again over his famous, at this point, gaslighting of Masters of the Universe Revelations, or Revolutions is Revelations, right? And look, no one backed it, no one liked it. That show, I feel like, it really destroyed what Masters of the Universe was, and it was pitched very similar to the Disney X-Men 97 cartoon dropping very soon as a continuation of the original series. Who would want that? Like, question mark? Maybe as like a comic series, but really weird. But he promised connections and carryovers, you know, geek talk, geek things. And then along the way, people actually saw Revelations, and they were just, it's like, it's just so disappointing. Your creative decisions, you're running the writer's room. What happened? And look, given it's kind of cute sometimes when you do like a Dark Knight type sequel, or like a Old Man Logan, where you kind of project ahead and you create this gap and characters are in a different place and where you previously saw them. It's a very cheap storytelling thing. Outside of Dark Knight Returns, I hate it. Even Old Man Logan, Mysterio would never trick Logan to kill the X-Men. He that would never happen. But anyway, so Netflix just dropped this news about Masters of the Universe. I believe it was 35 or 30 million in development. They dropped the development of the movie. They had casting, like along the way too. I think there was like some artwork that came out. I'm not even gonna bother looking it up because I think it was a minimum. I'm sure we'll see more now. So part of that context, all right, is movies transitioning from studio to studio, or even within a studio, because a lot of these producers and production companies are housed within studios, and something like Black Adam can get passed around for 10-15 years. And it's just funny sometimes how the development money never goes into the budget. Hollywood bookkeeping is the weirdest thing. But throughout my life so far, we've seen a lot of near misses when it comes to the MOTU movie. And it's so, from like a creative person's like position, MOTU is just like, it's low-hanging fruit for awesomeness, and it's odd, when it gets to the, like, eventually you're just like, it's almost like Halo, you're like, how is this not already a thing? It's just too awesome. Well, we see what they did with Halo, but no, and so it's not weird that Netflix dropped the development of the MOTU movie. What's odd though, and so many of you YouTube commentators missed this, guys, it's not Kevin Smith's fault. We just have to be clear on that. Kevin Smith doesn't have that much stroke, but Kevin Smith destroyed the image of Masters of the Universe. And when we look at the numbers of the toys and the sales and the merchandise, that crap sells regardless of a relevant cartoon, TV series, and or major tentpole movie. The merchandise already moves to a certain capacity would a movie really move the needle? So like you don't get like the industry crying foul, but then because Kevin Smith really did destroy the brand outside of a toy line, no one cares. Like, that's the truth. No one cares about the MOTU movie crashing again. There's no how. There's no screaming at the clouds or at the moon. People just don't care. They've already moved on. And that is the absolute lesson when it comes to why. Look, it's tough sometimes. It's tough being on social media, trust me. But you have to be clear, and you kind of have to let some of that honesty come through. And when you're Kevin Smith and you have multiple platforms and you have a real audience, and that audience really doesn't show up for your Netflix show, that says something. It really says something that Kevin Smith never corrected the course of Masters of the Universe, and he just kind of hoped it would go away. And trust me, people, no one's going to really care about series 2 of that show, and a lot of people are happy to just get done with it. And it's sad because MOTU is their lore, the mythology, even going through like the comic strips. It's awesome. There's so much there. It's sad, it's disappointing, but it's more or less, it's not Kevin Smith's fault that the movie got dumped. It's Kevin Smith's fault that no one cares. AKA Patty here, rock and roll.